Hello, everybody. Captain Marty Brill here, and this is our segment where we do some fishing reports and talk about what's going on. It's the dead of winter, but I still have news on this Friday, January the 10th. I'll be back to tell you what that is in just a moment.
When it comes to finding phenomenal seafood, you gotta go insane. That's right, stop into the Insane Seafood Market right there on Highway 64 in Columbia. Luke Midget and his crew work hard out on the water to make sure you have the freshest selection of seafood around. They provide a wide selection of fish, crabs, shrimp, oysters, and clams, just to name a few. Insane Seafood has a hot bar to satisfy that seafood craving right on the spot. Visit them online at insaneseafood.com and like them on social media. Go insane at Insane Seafood Market, Highway 64 in Columbia.
Red Drum Tackle in Buxton is the oldest complete tackle shop at Cape Hatteras. And being the closest tackle shop to Cape Point, Red Drum Tackle has been welcoming fishermen to Hatteras Island with a wide selection of bait and tackle, skilled custom rod builds, rod and reel repair, expert knowledge and information since 1974. Red Drum Tackle knows how, when, and where to fish. To acquire this fishing brain power, visit them online at reddrumtackle.com. Red Drum Tackle, the oldest complete tackle shop at Cape Hatteras and the closest to Cape Point in Buxton.
So with all the wind that we've had in the last few days, there's been nothing going on offshore that I'm aware of. I did talk to my old friend and my former marina partner, Dickie Harris. Dickie runs the Fantastic out of the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. That boat built by the legend Omi Tillett for himself, and Dickie was his mate. When Omi retired, Dickie bought the boat and has been on it ever since. And it's truly a classic Carolina sport fisherman, and Dickie is gearing up for the big bluefin tuna season, which will be going on for the next couple months. But he did allude yesterday, talking to him about this body of water that would be ideal for a yellowfin tuna if somebody could get out to it and the wind would lay down long enough to do that. And it's for people that don't know, it's kind of interesting because the yellowfin, the body of water, it's not really a body of water. It is a body of water in the Gulf Stream along the western inside edge of the Gulf Stream, and the temperature that they like and the color that they like is one color. It might be 72 degrees this time of year, something like that. But the bluefin tuna, which are the ones that get up to 700 to 800 pounds, they like a cooler water. Let's call it 68, 69 degrees. And it's a little bit greener, and that body of water is up east of Oregon Inlet. So there's two separate areas. Most of the emphasis right now is on people targeting and trying to catch an 800-pound tuna. And but there probably would be a great chance for some yellowfins if somebody would get a little bit further south down there in what we call the Point, which is a big canyon. And it's a big G, the letter G, like in good. It's a G-shaped canyon. The middle of it, the bottom of the G, is maybe 300 fathoms, 6 feet to a fathom, 1,800 feet. And then up around the rim of that canyon, it's 25 or 30 fathoms. So that's a good spot because of the upwellings, and the tuna love to, the yellowfin especially, like to get there. And also the big eye tuna when they're in town. Right now, it's just wait and watch. They keep a close eye on the satellite printouts of the movement of the different temperature body. Anytime your temperature changes, and they all have temperature gauges along with some other very high-tech electronics, but anytime you're fishing, let's say in 72 degree water, and all of a sudden you look down and it says 69 degrees, you've crossed into a different body of water, like we were talking about in the beginning. And quite often you'll cross into that and maybe get some bites, and you'll know that's the temperature that you want to spend your day in. So that's how all that works. But first of all, they got to get out there too. And there are both commercial boats going after these giants, and there are charter boats going after these giants, and there's some recreational folks doing it as well. But that's all that's going on offshore right now. I don't see anything else in the report. There's still some black drum being caught in the surf report. A few black drum, just the last of the sea mullet of the year, I think. A scattered puppy drum, just really getting picky. This water temperatures are low 50s, and these fish are probably going to try to find a slough somewhere and lay up for the winter, the ones that don't migrate away from us. But you know what? This is the time of year when you work on your tackle, you replace your drag washers, you place the line on your reels, and do your maintenance, and it won't be very long here on the Outer Banks, so you'll be back fishing again. So there is still a little bit of backcountry fishing going on. We'll take a little break right here and come back for that.
Ahoy there, folks. Captain Edward Lee here, and I want to invite you aboard the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. She's a modern 60-foot head boat outfitted with the latest top-quality safety and fishing equipment. We make 3 trips per day out of the world-famous Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Visit MissOregonInlet.com or call us today at 252-251-4314. So ditch the beach for a bit and set sail with the Miss Oregon Inlet 2.
So the back country is mostly limited right now to the Pamlico Sound. There's still people that will fish the edges of it, and that includes the creeks or estuaries that run up into some shallower water, might be a little bit warmer, and some people will fish right on through the winter. Hopefully, we don't have, we may be having a lengthy hard freeze. If we get water gets cold enough, it'll first freeze up, I think, in the creeks, but that's what we don't want. We don't want to die off where fish that did not migrate south get cold stunned. That's the term they use, and it's really, really bad. And every once in a while, the whole population will get wiped out, and it takes 3 or 4 years for them to bounce back. So right now, that has not happened yet, but there's still some folks going out by boat and doing that trout fishing in the Sound. So that's about all there is to talk about there. But I will tell you this, if you like waterfowl hunting, swans, geese, ducks, the Hyde County where I now live and have for quite a while is the middle of the Atlantic Flyway. It's a big waterfowl area, probably the biggest one on the whole East Coast, really. And there's going to be a week from tomorrow, and that will be January the 18th from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Will be the Mattamuskeet Decoy Festival. Now that is done by the Hyde County Waterfowl Association. They've done it for years. It's at the school gymnasium and auditorium on Highway 264. That's the best way I know to describe it. That's between Englehard and Swan Quarter on Highway 264. And if you're coming over from the beach, by the way, there's 2 ways you can come. When you come out of Mans Harbor, you can turn on the Stumpy Point Highway, which is Highway 264, and you can go until you come to the school. Or if you go around through Columbia, a nice drive, you can go over to Columbia, head south on 98, all the way down. You cross the causeway on Lake Mattamuskeet. Beautiful drive, a lot of waterfowl to look at. And when you get to the other end of the causeway, it butts right into Highway 264, and the school will be right there to your right. So the best thing to do is do both. Come over one way and go back the other. It's a nice circle. You can stop at some of our restaurants in Hyde County, and they're open on Saturday, and get you something to eat. Or at the Decoy Festival, they'll have concessions set up, and they will have everything from crab cakes, stewed oysters, sausage wraps, all that kind of hot dogs. It's a silent auction. There'll be artwork for sale. There'll be decoy carvers and demos, and decoys to be swapped, traded, sold, whatever, and a swan calling contest. All of that Saturday, January the 18th from 9 to 5. I hope you come over and visit Hyde County if you get a chance. And that's about it for today. Hope the good Lord blesses you richly.